Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter number 30 has revealed a shocking revelation in the idea that the reason why Jiren is participating in this tournament is to solely gain the access of the Super Dragon Balls in making his long-awaited wish that defies even his own principles in representing truth and justice for Universe 11, in which, as he devotes himself in protecting those who cannot be protected, the question is, what exactly is Jiren's wish in defying his own principles as a character, and is it going to be something that's going to affect the outcome of the Tournament of Power as we begin to head towards its finale? And on today's video, we're going to be diving in depth with what exactly Jiren's wish may be in defying the work of the gods, and seeing further if Jiren's wish is going to have a significant impact in the world of Dragon Ball Super. And again, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and enable all notifications by clicking that bell icon. That way you guys can be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel in connection to Dragon Ball news, information, updates, spoilers, and discussions. Hashtag Dragon Ball Squad. Now I want to go on ahead and welcome for the first time on the channel What If Theories, as we are going to be focusing more on Jiren's wish as portrayed during Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter number 30, in the idea that we were presented with the concept that Jiren is a fighter who devotes everything to justice, and he's not swayed by selfish desires or any sort of selfish motive. However, in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter number 30, we've learned that Jiren actually has a desire in using the Super Dragon Balls to make a wish. Now, what this wish is something to where it defies his principles and it defies everything that he represents. So What If Theories, I wanted to ask you, what do you think this concept is for Jiren having to make this wish and going against his principles? And do you think this will have a significant impact going forward in the idea that maybe it's foreshadowed that Jiren might win the tournament? Because if he doesn't win, then we would never really know as to what his wish is. So What If Theories, what are your overall thoughts on Jiren's wish? What do you think it could be? Is it something to where it goes against his beliefs in representing justice? Do you think it's maybe a selfish wish? Do you think maybe it's a wish to where it's malevolent in terms of nature? What are your overall thoughts on Jiren's wish? And do you think, in your opinion, that maybe this foreshadows Jiren winning, you know, further as we continue in the Tournament of Power?
Thanks so much. And first, well, thanks for having me on the channel, UnrealEntGaming. You're awesome.
Thank you, man.
I've been following you for a while. And I do think it is some foreshadowing, but there's been a lot of other foreshadowing, I think, for Jiren to win the tournament. And I think it does make sense because, one, you have Goku getting this amazing new transformation in Ultra Instinct, and it's something that the gods have a very difficult time of ever even mastering.
Right.
So I don't think it would make a lot of sense even for Goku to just readily attain this form in this arc. And that's why they also recently just presented the issues that Goku has with his attacks being ineffective, and that he has to still think. So I think it's going to be a process, and Goku is going to start to learn this, but he's still going to come up short in being able to defeat Jiren. And that also, too, gives him this obstacle that he has to overcome again. And that way, that, you know, go into the next arc, because we do need to have another arc.
Right.
You know, what will, if Goku just masters his form, defeats Jiren, and then it's like, okay, well, what next? You know, Jiren's been built up for such a long time that I think he's still going to be this one, you know, fixture that Goku has to overcome. And that's going to really make, you know, the show very interesting going into the next arc, because it gives something like Goku and Vegeta and something to train and move towards, and you go back with your training with Whis.
Right.
But as far as Jiren's concerned too, I think his power is just on such a magnitude that is so insane, you know, that is, you know, rivals a god of destruction, or, you know, he is the mortal that even a god of destruction can't defeat.
Right.
That he, and with his wish and just being just purely about justice, you know, in the manga chapter, is that he will probably do something that is against his beliefs. And, you know, it's been hinted at the work of the gods will end here. And I think that, you know, as opposed to someone like Goku or them, you know, wishing back all the universes or trying to defy the work of the gods and have them upset this entire hierarchy that we have in place, I think Jiren is going to be that character that's actually going to do that moving forward. And then that way, because he's not the villain, remember.
He's not. I think, if anything else, maybe we can agree on this. Frieza is the only antagonist I feel in the shadows, because everyone else here seems to be fighting for their universe, or at least fighting for some sense of protecting their universe. And Frieza is the opposite. Frieza can really care less. But you just brought something very interesting up. You're saying that perhaps maybe Jiren is going to be the one that upsets the hierarchy in defying what the work of the gods is. Do you mind elaborating further as to what you mean by that?
Sure. I think that because his beliefs are, and he doesn't want to ever go against his principles, which is, well, uphold justice. Even if someone is evil, like Frieza, you know, Jiren would not kill Frieza. You know, he would give him the benefit of the doubt and that other chance. You know, kind of like Goku did, you know, the first time on Namek. Jiren is always going to just, you know, try to be this, you know, benevolent. Like, in an early conversation I was having with you, I put him as, like, basically, he's like a Supreme Kai, except just, you know, way more powerful. Like, his goals and everything, his beliefs is to protect everything and to watch it grow and continue on. So what I think he'll do is, you know, to go against that principle will be that he sees that the work of the gods that they're doing and erasing universes, things he's protecting and not giving these innocent people a chance. I think that he will go against his beliefs and shake up that entire hierarchy and actually either make a wish that the gods are no longer in control anymore, or they can't erase anything anymore, or maybe he actually gets rid of Zeno and forms an entire new hierarchy. But I think it's going to be something along the lines that his wish is going to be very important, and I don't think anyone actually is going to defeat him, and Jiren's going to be a character that changes the entire, I think, dynamics of Dragon Ball.
What's interesting is Jiren at the very end of the manga chapter says, you know, my conditions are if anything involving Universe 11 is at risk, I'll come back straight away, with Toppo having to agree and saying, well, Master Belmont is asking you directly to participate, and the idea that Belmont's even saying, well, you know, if you happen to win, this wish that you've been wanting to make will be yours. And what I also find interesting is how Belmont is talking to Margarita and, you know, his Kaioshin, and speaking about how this has been Jiren's one and only desire in, you know, trying to accomplish this by going against his beliefs. And I personally feel like, as you said, it's very hard to come to the understanding that Goku's gonna win completely, even though the odds right now are maybe in his favor, in, you know, getting used to Ultra Instinct even more and learning about the power just so as he carries on forward. I think that, in my opinion, it's kind of foreshadowed as of now that Jiren does have the highest possibility in winning, because then we will get to understand as to what this wish is. As you said, maybe it disrupts the hierarchy of the gods. Perhaps maybe it ends the work of the gods, and the idea that perhaps maybe some of these deities have been too destructive in nature, you know, taking away innocent lives, in the idea that all he really cares about is justice and just representing, you know, truth and the belief that he wants to protect his universe. But maybe realizing the fact that the other universes are at risk too, maybe he has some sort of moral principle in defending them as well, and the idea that maybe he's the one that wishes back Universe 7 if Universe 11 wins. Because I really wouldn't see it in Jiren's character to eliminate all remaining universes in winning and then he wishes for something selfish. I think that it's going to be a wish to where it's going to possibly be selfless in maybe resurrecting the other universes, because a lot of us initially thought if Goku wins the tournament, he's going to bring back the other universes and we're going to carry on forward. And there is going to be more of Dragon Ball Super because, obviously, as you pointed out, we're going to have another arc. But the only question lingers as to who's going to win. Just because we have another arc planned does not mean that Universe 7 is going to win. What I wanted to ask you is, seeing as how Jiren in the manga and Jiren in the anime are portrayed very differently, what are your overall expectations as to what Jiren's going to do in the tournament when it comes down to the anime? Because the anime is ahead, and we're going to see more of that first than how we are in the manga. Now, my initial question to you is, do you see Jiren edging out every single fighter in this tournament in the idea that he is the last one standing? Because if by some chance him and Goku do have a really ferocious fight, and he does end up throwing Goku out but is tired at the very end, do you see somebody like Frieza also having to have a huge part involved with this? Because he also has a wish. He also has, you know, this train of thought going through his head to where he wants to make this wish that's going to affect literally everything. And for all we know, I mean, we don't really know what it is. It could be the wish to where maybe he wants to wish Beerus away. Maybe he wishes for the total eradication of every other universe. We don't know. And I feel like thus far, Jiren and Frieza are the only interesting factors in this tournament, because they both have wishes that we don't know about, and they both have sort of like a like an end goal as to what they want to accomplish. One of which being Jiren. His wish is it's really unique in the idea that it's not more or less something to where it might be evil, but more or less good, whereas opposed to Frieza, it's the complete opposite. So, do you see Frieza, by any chance, having to come into play by the very end of this arc in terms of winning? Because a lot of us would suspect, oh, if Frieza fought Jiren, it would be a no-brainer, Jiren would win. But what if there's what if there's a slight chance in Frieza having to possibly come in and toss Jiren out unexpectedly if Jiren is weakened by the end of the anime? Do you see that happening, or by the end of it, do you solely see Jiren just being the top dog remaining and thus making his wish?
Well, I think that, first off, I think the last three fighters for Universe 7 is going to be Frieza, Goku, and Vegeta.
Okay.
And also, too, Vegeta does have a very noble wish. He already told his disciple in Kaba that he wants to wish back everyone.
Yes.
And that, Saiyans must live on. So I think that he's going to be hanging around there with Frieza as well. And it's very obviously Frieza's got some great scheme that he's working on, and he said that he needed Goku to continue on. I just think that Jiren does have another level, and when Frieza goes to take place in acting out this plan, it's just not going to work. It's going to backfire on him, and he's going to be eliminated. And it could be possible that Jiren does win the whole thing, and would say he's the most likely scenario, but I actually think Goku is less likely, because we've seen it. And I think right now what they're trying to do in Dragon Ball is be unpredictable. Like they've been, taking pride in it almost, that this has been so difficult to predict. Like we had no idea that Hit was going to get eliminated so early, and we still have Brienne in there. Like this has been trying to predict the NCAA tournament. Like we had no idea it was going to be this challenging. So it does seem like Jiren is the favorite, but it could be anyone's game at the end of it. But I would like to see, I think, going into the next arc, maybe also too, I do always like to throw this out there, is that maybe no one gets a wish. We don't know where the Super Dragon Balls are right now. Maybe when it comes time to do the wish, maybe other event happens to segues into the next arc. But if it does come down to a wish, I think Frieza will try to backstab him, but he just won't have the means or capabilities to do it. And I don't think it's a lone classic rematch with Goku against Jiren. I think it's going to take literally Frieza, Vegeta, Goku working together. And maybe where Goku's weakness is, he doesn't have the power to attack an Ultra Instinct. Maybe something like that's where Frieza and Vegeta come in, because in that way, Goku can instinctively react and tie up Jiren, where they can charge up a really devastating, powerful attack and actually knock Jiren out of the ring. It's going to be a team effort if they're going to beat him, I think, at all.
I don't even think, to be honest, with the combined powers of Jiren, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, would they be able to take on Jiren? Because if we're speaking about Goku non-Ultra Instinct and having the other three team up with him, it's kind of hard to even say. If it's Ultra Instinct Goku with Golden Frieza and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, it makes things more interesting. But what I also wanted to go back and asking you, because you brought it up earlier, what if Jiren's real wish is to, by the end of it, dismantle the Order of the Gods and getting rid of them completely, in the idea that what they do is they're meant for destroying, they're destroyers. And what if he wants no part of that? Do you think it's logical in his character to wish away the gods, or do you think that it's something totally out there and the concept being a bit too wacky for his character?
I don't think it's completely out there, and I do love what ifs. But it could be the fact that he because that would be definitely something that's against his nature, is if he wished to destroy all the gods. But maybe, I compared him kind of like a souped up Supreme Kai. Maybe if he just reverses the entire hierarchy and he makes the Supreme Kais the ones who are in charge instead of the gods of destructions and the angels. Because the Kais are never hurting anything. They're actually there watching over the universe.
Yeah, they're overseers.
And then it's the god of destruction's job to keep everything in check, and the angels oversee them. But then you have this entire fixture of Zeno who can just overrule everything. So it could be where he just actually gets rid of Zeno and then reverses the entire hierarchy, where the Supreme Kais are the ones who now have to just nurture their universes, because now there's no threat of a supreme being in Zeno, who's the hierarchy, top of the top, in top Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
He actually starts eliminating. If you eliminate Zeno, everything changes. So I think it could be something where I don't know how you would eliminate him, but You know, it could be something, if it is possible, they try to, you know, reverse this entire hierarchy, put the Supreme Kais in charge of the, you know, the gods, and then get rid of Zeno.
Because at the end of the day, he's not going to make a wish that's going to be involving him getting a bagel with cream cheese. It's going to be something very big.
Yeah.
And something like that would really, really shift the focus, because the only reason why I'm saying possibly eliminate the gods for, you know, for his end is because he knows that they're destroyers. All they do is destroy, and he's against that. And you're literally going to go off and destroy, you know, innocent people and taking away their planets just for fun. And I understand that that's the balance, but I just don't see his wish being something to where he wants to be a god of destruction, or something to where he wants to be taking the role of the Omni King. I don't see that in his character. However, there is something looming about him that causes a little bit of concern, because you just don't know what it is, especially when Belmont says that it goes against his principles. And what are his principles? Representing truth and justice. So post your comments down below, guys. We would like to know what you guys have to say. What is Jiren's wish? Is it going to be something good? Is it going to be something evil? Is it going to be something to where he gets rid of the gods? We would like to know your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to slap a like down below. Make sure to punch that subscribe button, guys, as well, if you guys are new. Also, check out What If Theories. I will leave a link to his channel down below. He does tons of awesome videos on his channel, and I highly recommend you guys to go ahead and check him out. What If, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.